So we are live. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for taking time to register to take the training. We're really, really happy to have you here. So I think I will give some bit of time to Esther because we are here courtesy of Fidelity Bank. So I'll give some bit of time to Esther to give us some introduction and welcome us before we begin our session. So Esther, over to you.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. And I'm so excited to see the number of ladies who've joined this course. I think it just shows that we are ready and we are willing and ready more than ever enough, before to take charge and, take control of our lives and our businesses and break the bias and know that, yes, we can be all that we want to be. Um, So yes, Fidelity Bank is happy to be partnering with Impact Heart to bring this digital training course to you. We have done this before, and we are happy to see most of you who participated the last time show up again. Um, we all know what the world has changed, and post-COVID, the world has changed. The world has moved. So whatever we are doing now, any business that isn't selling online, that doesn't have an online presence, it's basically saying, I don't want to scale. It's basically saying to themselves, I don't want to do well. And this is a skill, a special skill that we all have to learn. It's a special skill that we all have to gain. It's not something we can just assume we have it or we know it just because we have a smartphone and we can go on Instagram and we can go on Facebook. But I'm happy that we know that beyond having a smartphone and being in social media, there's a skill that we need to develop to achieve, sales, to upskill in our businesses as SMEs, as women, and we have come to do that. So that's why Fidelity has partnered with Impact Her and with Google to say we have to do this for women. Fidelity is a women's bank anyway. Yes, we are human rapper. Call us that. That's a joke, but just to say that we support businesses and beyond this, for you to also know, we have a program called Half Fidelity. So basically for women community. So if you're interested, it's built on 4 pillars: access to finance, cheap access to finance, and easy access to finance for women, discounted rate for women. There's health and wellness and entrepreneurship encouragement, all on Half Fidelity. So I'm sure most of you have heard about Half Fidelity. So, like I said, we're happy to do this. Always know that your business, just having a shop or somewhere in Idumota and just sitting and expecting me to come there and buy your good is not good enough. But having it online, where I would always go online and somehow your business will pop up in my face and it could be something I need, will make me contact you easily and buy that good from you, and that will make you scale. It's like that in everything. It's like that in religion. It's like that. Take NSPP, the most of you know that platform, and Pastor Jerry, for example. He was somewhere in Umahia with 500 congregation. Nobody knew him. Today, what's his online presence? The biggest online prayer platform on earth. I'm sure most of you joined it this morning. Why? His anointing, his call it business in quotes, would not have been known if he didn't bring it online. But look at what's happening today. He's scaled, he's everywhere, he's in the US, he knows everyone all over the world knows Pastor Jerry. Why? Because he's scaled online. I use this example to let you know it's beyond business, it's in everything. So don't be shy. Some people didn't think it's important. That's why they are not here. But be proud of yourself that you're here. Give it all you got. Impact High is going to come with a training. You're going to learn more. Give it all you got. Please open up, understand it, put a structure to your business, because that's the way even I, as a bank, can respect you and give you the funds you want when you come to me. When you learn all those things, put a structure to your business, understand what is being trained, follow up. Don't just come today and not come tomorrow, because it progresses. There's a lot to learn, right? So, when you follow this through and you have a business that has a structure, that has you understand your sales, you understand your bookkeeping, you understand how you could sell skill, trust me, when you come to me, I will have a lot of respect for you, and I would be the first to say, yes, let's access this business, let's check it, the owner has invested in it, and let's also invest in the owner. So I'm wishing us all a very, very interesting time, a very, very successful time, and I pray and I wish that you would open up, learn as much as you can, and take your life, take your business, take charge, and know that you can be all that you're created to be. That even when, like I always tell people, when we do things right, honestly, people will be interested in us. Everything will work together. The universe, God, the whole thing, people will just be attracted to you. But when you do it not caring, when you do it just BAU, business as usual, the competition is too high for you to sit and think you want to do BAU. So yes, beyond this, please don't stop here. Keep learning, keep developing. There's a lot of resources online. Keep joining training. No training is a waste. Okay? All right. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for giving me this time. And I will still be online to also I want to learn because we are all entrepreneur and
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Esther, for that. That was really encouraging. I hope you picked one or two things from what Esther said, especially in terms of, the power of online. Let me just drop her off. Awesome. So, especially in terms of the power of online and why you need to go online, not only for your business as well. And she's given you an example, all right? So you can see how, online has helped to catapult brands online, individuals online, so make sure you take advantage of that, which basically takes us to, our topic of the day, building your brand and selling online. Before we get into any other thing, any other topic, we are going to look at, sorry, before we get into any other thing, we are going to look at, how to build your brand on the online space. Okay. So I have seen a lot of us have joined us. Joseph is the first person who was here. So a big shout out to Joseph for keeping time. Joseph, hi, how are you? Victoria, Alicia, Joy, you're all so many. You're over 100 people. I can't call out all of your names, but really, I'll receive my, heartfelt welcome, if I may say. Thank you for joining this session, and thank you so much to Fidelity Bank for giving you this platform and this partnership to ensure that we empower as many, African female entrepreneurs as we can. All right. So with me here, I have my colleagues. You can see them in the chat section already. Some of my colleagues have joined us. They will be moderating today's session. Their names are highlighted in blue, and they have a blue spanner next to their name. So there's Judith, who is in Benin. Judith is joining us from Benin. I have Udeme joining us from Nigeria. Udeme is in Nigeria, Abuja. And then I have Lorian Mefan. You can see her in the chat section as well. She is in Cameroon. And personally, my name is Beryl Okwach, and I'm a trainer with Impact Hub, and I'm in Kenya. So you can see already the power of digital. Most of you are in Nigeria. Lauren is joining from Cameroon. Judith is joining from Benin. I'm in Kenya, and we are all here together live, right? And making this thing happen. So that's already one of the advantages of being online. So you're able to interact with people real time from different places, all right, and still get feedback instantly. So basically, that's the benefit. I can see some of us have we are dropping our comments, emojis, right? So you can also introduce yourself in the chat section. You can always tell us where you're joining us from. So Olakitana said she's joining, I don't know if it's a she or he, from Abuja. So you can introduce yourself and tell us where you're joining us from. If you have a business, you can introduce your business as well. We're here to network at the end of the day, right? And you never know, you might find your future partner here, you might find your future client here. So you can also introduce yourself and your business in the chat section. And now I think we're almost 10 minutes into the session. The session is going to last for 1 hour. So if you're ready for us to start the session, you can drop me your favorite emoji. I can see some emojis already in the chat section. So if you're ready for us to start, you can also just drop me an emoji so that I know we are on the same page and we are ready for us to kickstart this session. So one advantage, or rather, some of the benefits that we're going to, get from attending today's session and all the other subsequent sessions. So we have Fidelity Bank actually is offering, what is it? Credit card vouchers. All right. So you'll get, what is it? Credit card vouchers. Yes. So depending on who answers, I'll be asking questions because I really like my sessions to be very interactive. So I'll be asking questions, and then as much as you will be the first person to answer, the person who gives me the correct answer gets the voucher, the airtime voucher. Okay. So we will be offering 4 vouchers in today's session. Each voucher is worth 2,000 bob. All right. So we'll be offering airtime vouchers depending on how fast and how correct your answer is when I ask your questions. And then overall, we'll be giving out 10,000, 10,000 Conga vouchers. So Conga vouchers, five, we'll be giving out 5 Conga vouchers, each worth 10,000 bob, but you have to attend at least 5 out of the 8 sessions. We have 8 sessions running until end of next week. So you have to attend at least 5. You have to be very interactive in the chat section. So I think I've seen some bit of emojis in the chat section. So that basically means we are ready to start this session. I'm seeing your comments, I'm seeing your introductions, and I'm very, very impressed with the energy. So let's keep that going until the end of the session. Thank you, Zoma, for that love heart. That's really nice. Okay, so like I said, what we're going to, cover today is how to build your brand and sell on the online space. That's the topic for the day. And there are 3 agendas that we're going to cover. So first, we're going to look at how do you establish your brand on the online space, right? You already have your brand name, you already have your brand, you have your business, but how do you establish it on the online space? How do you get started, right? And then e-commerce has really helped a lot of businesses in terms of increasing their revenues. So how do you develop your own e-commerce offering? What are the different options that are there for you to leverage on? And then how do you, at the end of the day, utilize social media to drive sales? Because most of us are savvy with either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, depending on where your audience is, okay? So how do you utilize those platforms to ensure that at the end of the day, you're driving sales, you're increasing the revenue? Because that's the focus of more or less every business to grow. Okay. Uh, so before I begin, we have this bootcamp that we run in partnership with Google. It's a Google Hustle Academy. So it's a 1 week long bootcamp, runs from Monday to Friday, and it's very, very intensive. All right. So if you want to learn about how do you pitch your business to potential investors, how do you come up with your own pitching deck? How do you create your own business strategy? All right. You want to look at effective financial contingency planning. How do you go about that, right? So all these things are covered in the Google Hustle Academy, and you're also assigned a mentor to walk you through the entrepreneurship journey. So, and it's free. That's the advantage of it. It's free. And I can tell you for a fact, all the information that you get that, is shared in the Hustle Academy, if you have to go and look for it somewhere else, you'd pay a hefty price for it. I'm telling you for sure. But this is the opportunity for you to basically, get this information free. The resources are free. So make sure you sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. Take advantage of that. The link will be dropped by either of my colleagues in the chat section. So Lauren, Judith, or Udeme, thank you so much. I know you'll be doing a good job in the chat section. I trust you'll be doing a good job in the chat section. So they will drop the link in the chat section for the Hustle Academy. You can copy the link and paste it on your browser and maybe look at it later on so that you don't leave the session right now. All right. So also before we, get started to now the content itself, go and hit the like button for this session, like the session, and then you can follow our YouTube channel, and then click on the bell icon to get notifications of future sessions. So click the thumbs up button to like the session. I can see the likes are going. Good job. And then you can follow our YouTube channel to make sure you get notification of future sessions so that you don't miss out on all this, very important information. So my first question to you, remember I have gifts for you. The first question to you, how do you currently market your business? But I'm not giving out a voucher for this question. All right. So this is just a warm up. It's a warm up, like the way in sports, before you start running or you get into a football match, you have to warm up. So this is the warm up. How do you currently market your business? How do you currently market your business? I'll give you an example. Is it by word of mouth, right? Is it by word of mouth? Is it via Facebook? How do you currently market your business? How do you currently market your business? Thank you, Lauren, for that. Lauren has also posted the question in the chat section. Street to school initiative says through word of mouth, through referrals by friends. Wow, that's good. Pero Lagos says through word of mouth. Who else? Pero, you've retracted your message, but I saw it. Esther says word of mouth, referrals. Alice, advert creation and WhatsApp status. Chika says word of mouth and some marketing personnel. Faith, I market mostly now on WhatsApp business till I get a phone to open an Instagram and Facebook page. I think the fact that you're already leveraging on WhatsApp business is a good start. So kudos for that. Ruth says word of mouth, WhatsApp status, advert. I can see your responses from Taiwo, Gloria, Chima, Rofiat. I can't even keep up. So thank you so much for that energy. It's actually very contagious. I love it. I love it. So keep my moderators very busy in the chat section. Keep them busy. Keep Lauren busy. Keep Udeme busy. And keep Judith busy as well. So remember the three agendas that we're going to cover. We said the first one is, looking at how do I put my business on the online space? How do I get started with that? All right. So what benefits are brought to businesses by going online? What are some of the benefits that are brought about by businesses, by going online? Okay. What are some of the benefits? Because from your responses, I can see some of you are already using, there's WhatsApp, there's Facebook, you're already using Facebook, you're using Instagram. Joy here is using Google Ads. So, what are the benefits that have accrued so far by taking your business on the online space? What are some of the benefits that have accrued by taking your business in the online space? Gertrude says publicity. Good job. So more and more people get to know about the existence of your business. They become aware of your business, right? Street to school says wider coverage. Yes. So you also get a wider coverage. If you're just based in Abuja, you're able to reach out to more people who are in Port Harcourt, who are in Lagos, so you're not just limited to your geographical area, right? So there's also higher sales. We have been growing based on referrals. You get customers that you might not even meet in real life. Correct. So those are online sales, website sales, social media sales. These are people you don't even know where they are. Okay. Probably maybe when you're doing your deliveries, but you never get to meet them, but they are still your clients. You increase sales, there's a larger audience awareness, publicity, more exposure, large visibility. I love the word visibility. That's a really, really good term. More people get to know you, more patronage. You cover wider audience, you increase sales, make your brand known. All your responses are actually correct. And in my next slides, obviously, I'm going to look at what the benefits are, but it will be more or less a summary of the responses that you've given me, right? But first of all, it's very important to look at facts and figures. Okay, you have to look at you know what what are the data around, what are some of the businesses that have gone online, what are the benefits, what are the potential numbers that are online that might benefit me. Okay, so it more or less just takes you to research of case studies, research of your market, and it's very, very important to always look at numbers surrounding whatever decision you want to make. So we can see that why do you need to go online in the first place? We have 1.79 billion people who shopped online last year alone. So last year alone, we have 1.79 billion people who shopped online. So technically, that shows you that more and more people are open to making online sales. More and more people want to buy their goods online because it's usually a bit very hectic for me to assuming I have an event on Saturday. Okay, personally, this is an example. I have an event coming up on Saturday. Okay, it has a dress code. I don't have the dress for that already, and I work from Monday to Friday, so I don't have time to go outside maybe to a boutique to get a cloth, I mean to get a dress or shoes that match the theme. So what I do is just go to my phone and search for, I can search for businesses online. If I'm looking for Ankara fabrics, I can search for that online, Ankara dresses, and then I just shop online. All right. I don't have to leave my house. So that's the power of online, and more people are getting comfortable with that. And then 97% of people learn more about a business online than anywhere else. And that's very correct. So going back to my example for the, Ankara dresses, there's probably a business around me, maybe near where I stay, that, basically the product are Ankara dresses, but I don't know about them. But if I go online and search for them, maybe Ankara shops near me, I should be able to find them. All right. And then 90% of purchases will be through commerce by 2040. So we are also projecting, we're looking at the market projection of the market. So if in 2040, 95% of purchases will be through e-commerce, then that basically shows you that this is a space that you need to um, leverage on. Okay. You need to try and say, what can I hop onto this? Will it work for me? Okay, because looking at future projections, it looks like it's a growing industry. Okay, so it's something that you would want to take part in. So how do businesses use the internet basically? So you sell products online. You're also able to buy products. If your suppliers, if you're getting, maybe you're getting Ankara fabrics, maybe you're a tailor or you're a dressmaker. Okay, so you have to buy the Ankara fabrics from a supplier, then come and what is it, sew your dresses. Okay, so you can also get your supplier online, so you're also able to buy products online. You're able to advertise if you're using social media marketing. If you want to go via Google Ads, that's search engine marketing, and all these channels will be covered in the next session. Okay, also able to advertise online. You're able to reach more customers. And I think if we go back to the responses that you give in the chat section, you can see that more and more people, benefited from, they got a wider reach, wider visibility. So you get to reach more customers and you're able to research your competition. I'm able to know what my competitor is doing. Why are they getting more clients? Okay, what are they doing better, what are they not doing better, and I'm able to make my decisions in regards to the analysis that the results of my analysis. So you're able, first of all, to build an online presence. You're able to build an online presence. But how do you go about that? Okay, you can decide whether to use a website. Okay, if you don't have a website, you can decide, what, I want to get started with getting a website because I want to improve my visibility on the search engine. So the search engine in this case could be Google, okay, or Microsoft Edge, depending on the browser that you want to use. So that's the search engine. So you can decide on a website, you can decide on an e-commerce platform, and we're going to look at the different e-commerce platforms that you can leverage on. You can also decide to, I don't have the money to get a website, I don't have, the money to pay for space on an e-commerce platform, but I can decide to set up a social media page. It's free. Okay, so it could be a social media page. So either of those would help you in building or starting up your online presence. So I've talked about this basically. It could be your website, okay? You can decide to start your own website. And also, I think most of us have the idea of getting a website developer to do their professional website. And usually for SMBs and MSMEs, it's usually a bit costly. But what you don't know is there are other options that you can leverage on for free websites. And we'll actually look at that. You can decide on a social media platform. You can decide on an online directory. If it's the yellow pages, the Africa business pages, you can decide on an online directory, or you can decide to place your products on an e-commerce platform. All right. And we look at the different e-commerce platforms. So what is e-commerce really, and why e-commerce, right? And why e-commerce? So if you're looking at the data of e-commerce, let me take you back to this slide. Let me take you back to this slide with my figures because it relates to what I'm going to talk about. 95% of purchases will be through e-commerce by 2040. So why e-commerce, right? Why e-commerce? Which takes us to this slide. 400 million users, 400 million internet users in Africa, second only to China. So imagine China has the largest number of people who are online. Then Africa follows by 400 million. So these are people who have access to the internet. So the more people with access to the internet, the highly likely online sales increases. Okay, and then 10% of retail sales with there will be a 10% of retail sales with an estimated value of 75 billion by 2025. So we are also projecting the market and the revenue. Okay, so we can see that 10% of all retail sales will have an estimate of around 75 million billion, right, by 2025. Okay, and then 16.5 billion, there'll be 16.5 billion dollars of revenue generated from e-commerce, or rather were generated from e-commerce in 2017. So that's in 2017 alone. We are in 2022. More internet users, I mean, the number of internet users are growing. The number of people buying and selling goods online are growing. So if in 2017 we had 16.5 billion of revenue generated, just imagine where we are at right now and where we will be maybe in the next year or the next 2 years or the next 5 years, right? So it basically tells you that the e-commerce platform is a growing industry, and maybe it's something that you think about and try and place your business on. So there are different e-commerce platforms that you can decide to get started with. There's Amazon. Okay, most of us know Amazon, but have personally not interacted with Amazon before. Okay, able to sell and display your products online on all e-commerce platforms. So you basically just need to pay for a space. Okay, and then there's Konga. Konga is one of Nigeria's leading e-commerce platforms. And actually, this takes us back to the giveaway that we have. So if you attend 5 out of 8 of our sessions, we will be giving 5 Konga vouchers worth 10,000 naira. Okay, so you have to be consistent with attending the sessions, and you have to be very interactive. Okay, because it's going to be very random. So I think most of us know about Konga, and then there's Jumia. I personally have interacted with Jumia because Jumia is actually very big in Kenya. Okay, so there's also Jumia. I've bought goods online. They've delivered my goods for me. So there's also Jumia. If I have a business, maybe I'm selling furniture, I can decide to get a space on Jumia and sell my product on their space. Okay, and then you can also decide on an online marketplace. So there's also Kilimall. Kilimall is actually very big in Kenya as well. Last month, I actually bought some beauty products on Kilimall, and they delivered it to my doorstep. Okay, so imagine if it was you. Imagine it was Judith, who's the owner of the beauty shop, and she had a space on, Kilimall. Okay, and then I went online, I saw an ad, and I bought from them. So you can imagine that's also something she's benefited from, besides making, maybe in-person sales or something like that. So there's also Bidabai. Bidabai is very big in South Africa. And then there's Gigi. Okay, you can even place, if you want to even sell your cards, you can place them online on Gigi. Okay, and sell from these two places. So you can decide on the e-commerce platforms we've talked about. We've said there's Konga, we've said there's Jumia and Amazon, and then the online marketplaces, Kilimall, Bidabai, and Gigi. And then if you want to go online as well, you can decide, you know what, maybe I can place my business on an online business directory. So there's the yellow pages of Africa, and then there's the Africa business pages. So you basically input information about your business. What is your business name? What do you do? What is your industry? Where are you located? Okay. What is your website? So when someone goes to, these directories, and they go to an industry, maybe the hospitality industry, and they see your listing, it basically gives them all the information they need to know about your business. And if they're satisfied with, if they feel like, this is the person I want to reach out to, your contact details are also there. They can always reach out to you. And this is the same with the Africa business pages. So when you want to get started with your online business directory, you have to register your business details. What is the name of your business? Okay. Which sector are you in? Where are you located? What are your contact details? Okay. Which country are you in? Are you in Kenya? Are you in Nigeria? Are you in South Africa? Where are you located? All right. So it's not, it's actually, the steps are very easy. When you want to get started with, setting up your listing on the online business directory. Actually, the link to the Africa business pages will be posted in the chat section. So make sure you click on it, or copy it and paste it on your browser, like I said, so that you don't leave the session, and register your business and create your own listing on the online business directory. And then there's also social media. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's LinkedIn. Right now we have TikTok and it's working out. Okay. So all you have to do is go online, search for Facebook. If you don't have an account, sign up. Okay. What is the name of your business? Give a short description of your business. What are your contact details? Do you have a website? You can link your website with your Facebook. Do you have a WhatsApp business number? You can actually sync your WhatsApp business number with your Facebook account, so that when someone goes to your Facebook account, they click on the WhatsApp business number, it technically just brings them directly to your WhatsApp. Okay, so there's that, and then I've talked about what is your username. You need to be to add pictures. So you need to have your logo first. Normally, it's recommended that you have your logo as your profile picture, and then maybe your cover photo could be something, an image that best depicts what your business is about. Okay, if you're a tours and travel company, maybe you can have a campfire in the background. It's easy for people to relate that image with what your business does. And then you have to be consistent with your daily posts. So you can decide to either be doing daily posts or 3 posts in a week, but they have to be visual. Remember, people are very visual, right? People are very, very visual. So you have to make posters. You can make posters on, you can use the marketing kit, it's free. All right. You can create your posters from there, or you can use Canva to create your own posters or your own logo. Okay. So I think at this point, I will take a pause to pick questions. Do I have any questions up to this point? Do I have any questions, please? Let me see. I know my moderators have been doing a good job, a really good job. And Apna, I'm so sorry. I don't think either of us speak Arabic. So I don't know. Can we translate that so that we can at least understand? Yeah. So I don't think either of my moderators speak Arabic, or maybe I don't know if they do. They can just tell me. So they've also done a good job with picking out questions in the chat section and responding to them. Let me just see if there's any that I have missed. Let me see. What does it take to register your business? So you don't need anything to register for the, on the online directory. I think that is probably what you meant. Okay. So just, what is your business? What is your business name? Where are you located? What do you do? Which sector are you in? Okay. So there's not much that you would need to register your listing on the online directory. And then let me see which other question. What's the first step to your online presence? What's the first step to online presence? Okay, wait, Julie. Okay, what's the first step to online presence? So, assuming I have my business already, but I'm not on the online space, okay, you have to do, there are a lot of things that you need to look at before you decide on what, basically what platform to get started with. So, if I have an idea of who my business, of where my audience is, I first need to know where are my audience located, because it would not make sense for me to open a LinkedIn account for my business, yet most of my audiences are on Facebook and Instagram. So what you need to do, you can look at your competitors if they're online. Okay, look at their pages maybe on the online platform. So this takes you to competitor analysis. Look at what pages actually work for them. If they have a website, are they getting traction on the website? Are they getting, if they have the Google business profile, how is it working out for them? Are they getting so many reviews? If they have a Facebook and Instagram, how is it for them? So you're basically able to know, which platforms can work out for you. You can also do a survey. All right, you can decide to send out a survey to your clients. So send out a survey, and basically just to collect information on which platforms they mostly use. So that will also help you in knowing basically which platform you can get started with. So it takes a lot of research. You don't just go into it blindly. Okay. And you also need to look at your resources. If you don't have the money to pay for space on an e-commerce platform, or getting a website, a professionally done website, you can decide on, what, let me create a Google business profile, which is free. And we're going to look at that in the next sessions. You're going to look at how do you create your own Google business profile. And the advantage of a Google business profile, you get a free website alongside it. Okay, you get a free website alongside it. All you need to pay for is your domain name. You also need to look at your resources. Do I have the money to get a website? No, I don't. Do I have the money to, get started with an e-commerce or the online marketplace? No, I don't have. So I can decide on, maybe I'll start with social media first because it doesn't take any resource really. And I can decide on the Google business, Google business profile for starters. Okay. So let me see. Is getting a logo. Okay, Udeme, thank you so much. You're doing a good job. Lauren, um, Judith as well. Thank you. I'm just trying to see if there are questions. Will the slide be given to us? Sorry, Priscilla. So we won't be able to share the slides with you, but the same link that you joined the session with, you can always use that link to get to access the recording of this session. So immediately after the session, the recording is available. You can use the same link to access the recording of today's session. So you can always revisit the sessions. Faith, is getting a logo the most important step to creating awareness? Okay, I can't basically say it's the most important step, but it actually helps with your brand recognition. Okay, so it's the same way you would see Fidelity Bank's logo somewhere. You would associate it, you will just see the logo and associate it with the brand itself. Okay, so it helps with brand recognition. Okay, so assuming maybe someone just, maybe there's an ad running online and it just has my logo on it. Okay, not even my business name or something like that. So my loyal customers, my customers would be able to know, you know what, I think this flyer is courtesy of maybe Beryl's Organic Shop because they've seen my logo on it. So it helps with your brand awareness. It helps with your brand recognition as well. Okay. Let me see any question. How can we get to the slides? I've already addressed that. Okay. Okay. I think Lauren and Udeme will also pick some questions. I'll come back to pick a few more. Just give me a second. Okay, so yeah, sorry. So Udeme and Lauren will respond to some of your questions. So I will move on to the next part of the session because we technically have 1 hour to cover the whole training. So I don't want to spend so much time on that. And Lauren and Udeme and Judith are savvy with, are conversant with your questions, and they can also pick and drop responses. So the slide is not clear. Maybe just check your settings. I think Udeme posted steps in which you can make the slides clear from your end. Let me see so that I can read it out for you. Yes, for visibility, so you can go to the settings on your laptop, select quality, click on advanced and select 720 pixels. So that will basically make your screen clear, okay? So I'll move on to the next part of our session. But before I move on, I think I will give my first giveaway right now. Okay, so I'll ask a question and I'll give my first giveaway, my airtime voucher. Remember, we are giving out 4 airtime vouchers worth 2,000 bob each to people who will, you have to give me the correct answer. You have to give me the correct answer, all right? So even if you're the first one and it's not the correct answer, I am sorry. I will not give you the voucher. So my first question, what are the 3 e-commerce platforms that I have mentioned that you can leverage on? The 3 e-commerce platforms that I mentioned that you can leverage on when you want to get started with building your online presence. Remember, the first and correct answer gets the voucher. You have to mention the 3 of them. Wow, but I think Uzo Precious gets it. Uzo Precious. I actually saw. So Annie said Gigi. but Uzo Precious gave me the three. I wanted the three correct answers. So there's Konga, Jumia, and Amazon. So Uzo, please drop your full name in the chat section. Please drop your full name, uh, your network provider, yes, and your phone number. So your full name, your network provider, and your phone number. Please drop that in the chat section. Full name, network provider, and phone number. So please drop that in the chat section. You are the winner of the first airtime voucher. Congratulations. Please make sure you drop your full name, your phone number, and your network provider in the chat section. Okay. Now, we'll move on to the next part of our session. All right, we will move on to the next part of our session, developing your e-commerce offering. Developing your e-commerce offering. So when you want to get started with developing your e-commerce offering, sorry, the first thing you need to look at is you need a domain name. You need a domain name. So it could be burial. So what do I mean by domain name? It could be, you know, the way Fidelity Bank has a website. So they have a domain. I don't know their website very well. So it could be, let me use Impactor because I know Impactor. So www.impacther.org. So that is a domain name. Okay, and it's special for Impactor alone. You won't find any other business with the same domain name. Okay, so you have to have a domain name. So technically, the domain name, like mentioned, as mentioned in the screen, is the address where customers can access your website. And like I said, it's unique to your business. Okay, no other business can have your domain name. So you need to pick a domain. You can go to Africa Domain, or you can go to Google Domains to get started with choosing your domain name. And then you need to secure it. You need to secure your domain name so that no other person can get that name or can rather use that name. Okay. So if it is, let's say, if it is Judith, maybe Judith has an electronics shop. So Judith Electronics Shop, even if there's no other address that will have the same domain name as Judith's. Okay, so you need to secure it. You can secure it on GoDaddy or go to Domain King or Bluehost. Okay, so if you just go online and search for GoDaddy, I'm sure the listing will come up. You can click on that. You can go to Domain King and you can also go to Bluehost. So while at it, you can also decide to get an SSL certificate. So that's a security certificate for your website to ensure that it's not prone to, any insecurity issues. So just to secure your domain name, you can also purchase an SSL certificate. So, for example, if you want to do a website as an SSL certificate, it could be when you're looking at the URL, when you're looking at the URL of a business, let's say Impactor. So this https forward slash maybe impacther.org. So the website, the URL that has an S after HTTP, it means that they have an SSL certificate ingrained on that link. Okay, so it's secure. So websites with the S after the HTTP basically shows that they have an SSL certificate. So it is a secure website. Okay, so when you're securing your business name, make sure that for security purposes, you also get an SSL certificate. And then you can get started with building your own site. Remember, if you want a website, sometimes you don't have the resources to pay. You don't have the resources to pay website developer. Okay, so you can go to wix.com. The link will also be posted in the chat section, or Google Sites, and create your own website. Okay, you don't even need coding skills for that. So with these platforms, you're able to create your own website, design them. You can have the themes that you want, your brand colors. So you can create your own websites from wix.com or Google Sites, and then you get ready templates that you can customize. Okay, so the templates ready for you. All you need to do is to input your business information under the About Us page. What does your business do? Under your services page, if you're in the service industry, if you're in the product industry, what are your products? What are your services? Contact us. How do you want people to contact you? Okay, and then you can change the themes according to. So basically, make sure that when you're creating your own website, you need to take into consideration your brand colors. Remember, all this goes back to your branding as a business, your brand. How will people relate to your brand? Okay, we know Fidelity Bank's colors. I know there's some blue in it. Okay, so you associate, even if you go to Fidelity Bank's website, you will see that the website has its brand colors on it. Okay, so you can customize your templates and then upload content. If you have photos, maybe of previous events, if you have photos of your products, make sure you upload them and give product descriptions. Okay, so make sure the photos that you're using are high resolution photos. I wouldn't want to go to a website that has blurry images. I mean, they don't look like a serious website. Okay, so make sure you're uploading photos that are of high resolution, all right, and not very heavy, because you also don't want your site to be heavy. When your site is heavy, it buffers a lot. So when someone goes to your site, it takes a lot of time to load. Nobody has the patience or the time to wait for a site to complete, I mean, to finish loading. Okay. So you also have to make sure that you're not using bulky images, and that the speed of your site is very much okay. And if you want to test the speed of your site, you can go to test my site. I think the link will be posted in the chat section. Their link will be posted in the chat section to test the speed of your site. Ah, yes, Faith says Fidelity standout color is green. So you see, you even know that. You can associate it. You already know that. You know what? These are Fidelity Bank's colors. Okay. Let me see what else. What else? Okay. So after this training, what next? So technically, Derry, this is the first training. We have 8 topics. Okay. There's another topic tomorrow. There's another topic the other day. So the training is up until end of next week. Okay, and there's so many resources that you get from attending the sessions. So you get to know, how do you build your online presence. You want to create your own Google business profile, but you have no idea how to go about it. Okay, so there's also that you get access to free resources. And we are also verification partners with Google. We assist you with that. Then there's also post training support. If you need any support, even after the training, you feel like, you know what, I feel like my Google business profile is not working out for me. Okay. So what do I need to do? You can always come back to us for advice. So we also offer post training support. It's not just, training and leaving. Okay. So make sure that you put into practice what we are talking about, so that if you need help along the way, you're also here to help. There's Udemy, there's Lauren, there's Beryl, there's Judith. We have a whole team who are not even here today that are able to help you. And yes, we also offer certificates for the session, but you have to sign up on the attendance link. It will be posted later on in the class. So make sure you fill in the attendance form with the correct name that you would want to appear on your certificate. Okay. So what are the best practices? I was talking about the best practices when creating content for your website. The first thing, you need to prioritize your website. I mean, your audience. Your audience, what are some of the content that they like to consume? Okay. You need to understand your audience preferences in terms of what they're looking at, what their challenges are. Okay. Because when you're sharing your content, you need to place that information such that it looks like your business is a solution to their challenges. So that means you need to understand your audience. Who are you targeting, to be able to know the language that you're even going to use? Because the language I would use to reach out to teenagers, if those are my audience, is not the same language I would use to reach out to an adult population. So you need to identify your audience, their demographics, their preferences, their interests, their values, their challenges. Okay. And then research your competitors. Know what your competitors are doing. I think I mentioned this in the previous slide. Know what they're doing, what is working out for them. Can I do the same for me? What is not working out for them? Then I don't need to repeat their mistake. Is there a gap that they have not leveraged on? So maybe I can leverage on that gap and create my own unique selling point. Okay. And then you also need to learn about search engine optimization basics. all this, especially about search engine optimization, will be covered in the next class. But you're going to look at, I'll just mention it briefly. If you want to go with the local SEO, you can decide to get started with um, your Google business profile, creating your own Google business profile. And then if you have a website and you're looking at the technical SEO, you can look at the Google Search Console. Okay. So when you want to go above and beyond with e-commerce plugins, so you can have plugins on your website. Plugins um, are softwares, additional softwares that give your website some additional features. Okay, so these are softwares that you input on your website to give you some additional features. Okay, it could be maybe you have a promo and discount code, like we've had Black Friday running. Okay, we've had Black Friday running almost the whole of this November. Okay, so you could have had maybe you had a promotion running. So you could have a promotion and discount code, an easy to check out plugin. Okay, so it's actually easier for people to check out on your website. So if you have maybe a high number of people filling carts on your website, they're just filling carts and they're not checking out. Maybe the checkout process is a bit complicated, so you need to figure out how to have an easy checkout process. So you can include a plugin for that. And then you can have plugins for SEO. Okay. If you want to get started with email marketing, okay, this is one of the channels of digital marketing that will also be covered in the subsequent sessions. You can have your email marketing integration as a plugin on your site. And then if you have multiple payment options, you accept Visa, you accept PayPal, you accept mobile money. You can also have that as plugins on your website. And where do you get these plugins? So you can get them from WooCommerce, you can get them from Easy Digital Downloads, or you can get them from WP e-commerce. Please make sure you screenshot this slide to make sure that you don't forget. Okay, so you can go to WooCommerce, Easy Digital Downloads, and WP e-commerce. Okay, to download your plugins. And then make sure your website is mobile friendly. So these are basically statistics that tell you why it's important to have a website. Okay. So there's 2.41 billion people who shopped online only in 2021. So you can imagine the businesses that had websites, the amount of website sales that they made. And then we have 21 million online shoppers across Nigeria, South Africa, and Kenya. The three countries already has 21 million people who shop online. All right. This is a potential um, target audience for you. Okay. And then 50% of consumers shop more on mobile than in store. It's true. And I give you an example of the event that I have, and I have to get a dress online. So, assuming even if I'm hungry, it's lunchtime right now where I am because I'm 2 hours ahead of you. So, it's lunchtime. I don't have the time to go out and look for food. Okay. I can just go online and search for restaurants near me that offer deliveries. Okay. I talked about the test my site where you can test your website speed. Okay. So you need to know the speed of your website. If it's heavy, try and see. Maybe I need to remove the bulky images. Maybe there's something I need to do better. Okay. So at this point, I will take the second pause of the session. I will take the second pause of the session. uh, do I have any questions? I know Lauren, Udeme, and Judith have been doing a good job in the chat section. Lauren, Udeme, and Judith have been doing a good job in the chat section. Thank you so much for that. So while I'm waiting for your questions, I'll ask my second question for the second voucher. Okay? My second question for the second voucher, which you have to give me the correct answer. Which we talked about three online marketplaces that you can get started with. We talked about three online marketplaces that you can get started with. Three online marketplaces. Three online marketplaces. So only the person who will give me all the three, the ones that I talked about, the three that I talked about, I can see some responses, but I don't see the correct one. Online marketplaces, not e-commerce. I talked about three online marketplaces that you can get started with. Let me see. And I can see the correct answer. I know some of you have dropped your responses, but the person who's given me the correct answer is Elizabeth. Elizabeth. There's Kilimol, Bidibai, and Gigi. Those are the ones that I talked about. I wanted to see if you're taking note of what I'm covering. There's Kilimol, Bidibai, and Gigi. Those are the ones that I talked about. So congratulations, Elizabeth. Congratulations, Elizabeth. So please drop your full name, your phone number, and your network provider. My first winner, I think my first winner was Uzo. My first winner. Did you drop your details in the chat section? So Elizabeth, please drop your full name, your contact details, that is your phone number, and your network, your provider. Yes, your network provider. So Elizabeth. Lorian, did we get the first, did we get the details of the first winner? Did we get the details of the first winner? Did I get the details for the first winner? I think it was Uzo, if I'm not wrong. Okay, let me just see. My first winner was Uzo, if I am not wrong. Uzo, I think that was her name. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to remember. So I'm going through the chat. Yes, Uzo Precious. Uzo Precious, please drop me your details. That is your full name, your phone number, and your network provider. The same with Elizabeth. If you don't drop your details, you're not able to get your giveaway, your prize. Okay, so please make sure you drop your details. Elizabeth and Uzo Precious. Elizabeth and Uzo Precious. Congratulations, Elizabeth. Grace, awesome. You've dropped it. Sorry, kindly just drop it again. I'm not sure we were able to get it. Please drop it again, Uzo Precious. I'm not sure we were able to get it. Uzo Precious, just, yes, your full name, your phone number, and your network provider. I can see your full name is Uzoma Precious. So your phone number, right? And your your network provider. So you can send please just drop them so that we are able to collect them. Same to Elizabeth. So meanwhile, I'll go to the last part of our session. Let me just cover the last part of the session. Remember, Uzo and Elizabeth have gotten, 2,000 airtime voucher. All right. So those are two questions that I asked. The third question I'm going to ask is, where can you download your e-commerce plugins? Where can you download your e-commerce plugins? Wait, Rachel, did you read my mind? And Debbie, did you all read my mind? So there's someone who's given me a response already. I can see a response. What are the three places that you can download your e-commerce plugins? What are the three places you can download your e-commerce plugins? You have to name the three of them. Your e-commerce plugins. I've just talked about this right now. What are the three places you can download your e-commerce plugins? Please, can we have the websites to get the plugins? So that is actually the question that I've asked, that I will give out the third airtime voucher of the day. I'll give out the third airtime voucher of the day. Please, can we have the websites for the plugins? So who will give me the correct answer? I'm seeing Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. No, that is not the answer. No, Uzoma, no. Where can you download your e-commerce plugins? Aluka, those are two. Which other one? I want to see if you're taking note of the content on today's class. WooCommerce, Easy Digital, WP Commerce. Please, my moderators, please, can you tell me who the winner is? I'm seeing responses, responses, responses. Udeme, Lauren, please pick a winner. I've left this one to you. Udeme, Lauren, Judith, please pick a winner. Please pick a winner. Can the question be displayed on the screen? Okay. WooCommerce, Easy Digital, and WP Commerce. Jennifer, I see your responses. I see your responses. I see your response. So, my moderators, please, 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 can you pick a winner for me for this last question? Okay. So, if you're not comfortable with sending your details, your phone number in the chat section, please, you can send to my email partnershiplead@impacther.org. Partnershiplead@impacther.org. Let me just type it out for you. That is Elizabeth and Uzoma. You are my first and second winners. So you can send me your details on the email that I've posted in the chat section. Please, Uzoma, Precious, and Elizabeth, please send me your details. That is your phone number, and your network provider in the email that I've put in the chat section. Thank you. So who's my third winner? Lauren, please let me know who my third winner is. Meanwhile, I'll move on to the last part of our session, utilizing social media to drive sales. So how can social media benefit your business? How can social media benefit your business? Hannah, you're the winner. I can see here that Hannah Idoko, congratulations. So Anna, you can send your details to partnershiplead@impactor.org, your full name, your phone number, and your network provider. So that is the third winner of the day. Before we end the session, I have one more airtime voucher to give out. So Hannah Idoko, you can also send me your details in the chat, in the email that I've provided, has been provided, okay? So now, the last part of the session, how can social media benefit your business? How can social media benefit your business? How can social media benefit your business? Is it you're able to get more people? Is it that you're able to get more sales? How can social media benefit your business? So, Abisoe, social media can benefit your brand by reaching millions of people on your behalf. Correct. Thank you so much, Olua Tosin. Thank you. Any other response? Awareness. Esther says awareness. Eno is still responding to my previous question. Chima says publicity, favor to get more audiences. Oduche, more people, more sales. Who else? Who else? Loretta is responding to my previous question. Joy, increased sales. Ozuruma, awareness. Ali, visibility. Aluka, you're able to research competitors. Awesome. You've been taking note of the class. Oluchi trading, Tayo boost sales, audio please, I don't understand. More sales, visibility, all great responses, all great responses. So technically what I'm giving you is just a summary of what you've said. You're able to generate more sales, you're able to make website sales, you can make social media sales, you add value to your brand. So there's you get to add value to your brand in terms of its brand awareness, brand recognition. You technically add value to your brand, and then you're able to improve your marketing. Okay, besides the marketing that you do, in person, if it's by word of mouth, you're able to improve your marketing. Okay, and then you're able to build relationships online and networks, and you're also able to stay competitive, basically by looking at what your competitors do, doing a lot of market research and adapting your business to that. Okay. Okay. So my slide is not moving. So sorry about that. My slide is not responding. Just give me a few. Okay, awesome. So how do you set up your own social media strategy? How do you set up your own social media strategy? Remember, you want to get started with social media, okay? But you need to have a strategy in place. Okay, you need to have a guideline that will let you know, this is what I need to do, this is what I should follow, all those things. So there are 5 things that you need to look at when you're setting up your social media strategy. You need to look at your audience, your business goals, your social platforms, your tone of voice, and then what is success to you? How do you define success as a business, right? Okay, I think it's my internet. Just give me a few seconds. So my internet is not very responsive. Just hold on. Give me a few seconds. Yes, I think that's it. So when you look at your social media strategy, remember we've talked about 5 things. You said you need to look at your audience, your business goals, your social platforms, your tone of voice, and then what do you define success? So when you're looking at your audience, who are your audience? Who are you targeting? Okay. Are they females? Are they adults? Of what age? Okay. And then what are they interested in? What are their interests? You need to understand their interests. You need to understand what influences them to make a purchasing decision. Okay. And you also need to look at what platforms they normally use online. So, which platforms are they normally in? What time do they normally go online? Okay, which posts do they normally interact with? Okay, so all those things are what you need to understand with your audience. But most importantly, you need to understand their challenges. What are their problems? What challenges are they encountering? Okay, and will my business be a solution to those challenges? And then you also need to come up with your own business goals. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to get better customer service? Do you want to increase your brand awareness? Do you want to generate more sales? Do you want to get more people on your site, or do you want to connect with influencers? So you want to go to the online space, but you need to understand your target. What am I looking at? What do I want to achieve? All right. And then the different social media platforms that are available. Okay. So are you choosing a platform because of a business focus or a lifestyle focus? And then when you're choosing the platform, remember, before you even decide on the platform, it goes back to the audience. Which social media do they use mostly? Because if I do my survey and I figure out my audience mostly uses Facebook and Instagram, there would be no point in me having a LinkedIn account, because I'm just going to spend a lot of effort on that platform that is not going to convert for me. Okay. So that takes you to basically the information that you need to do when you're setting up your social media platform. And then you need to test and learn and try another. So I can look at Facebook and Instagram, all right, and I see, let me open a Facebook and Instagram account for starters, okay? So I see what's working out for me. So maybe I'm getting more traction on Facebook. I have more people following me on Facebook. I have more people buying from me from my Facebook platform. So I need to test the different platforms and see what is working out for me, because each channel works differently. And we are going to look at the features of each channel in the next slides. Then you also need to come up with your tone of voice. You need to have brand guidelines. Okay. For example, the largest network provider here in Kenya is called Safaricom. Okay. So Safaricom mostly they have when you go to their social media platform, their posts and the responses that they give to clients, they're usually very witty. Okay. So sometimes it's usually fun, sometimes it's a bit witty. Okay. So you need to have a tone of voice. Do you want to have a corporate tone of voice, maybe a fun kind of voice, depending? So how do you want your audience to identify you? Okay. So you need to understand your tone of voice and your brand guidelines in terms of, if someone makes a request, what is the turnaround time for response? Okay, so you need to have brand guidelines. And then logo use. You're coming up with flyers. So do you have guidelines for, these are how our flyers will look? We normally like our logo to appear maybe at the top right or top left or bottom right or bottom left. So you need to have brand guidelines also in terms of your logo use, your fonts and colors. I talked about this when I was talking about when you're creating your own website on Wix.com. So what are your colors? What are your preferred fonts? Okay, and then the do's and don'ts. So if we have someone, maybe we're trending online for the wrong reasons, what are we not supposed to do? All right, I can't have a back and forth with my clients on the online space. Okay, so you need to have those do's and don'ts, and then your style of images. how do you like your images to appear? Okay, so that I can see a flyer online and I will already know as a client this flyer looks like it's Fidelity Bank. They like their flyers to look like this. Personally, for Impactor, I already know how Impactor's flyers will look like. Okay, because we have guidelines for that. And then what is success? How do you define success? If I get 1,000 followers in this month, that could be success to me, right? But maybe for Udemy, that's not success to him. Maybe Udemy, success to him looks like getting more website sales, or basically getting more Facebook sales. Okay, so success is different according to different businesses. Okay, so how do you define your own success? You need to understand what success looks like to you as a business. So currently, I know I asked this before and I'll ask again as we wrap up. Which social media platforms does your business use? Which social media platforms does your business use? Meanwhile, I hope that Precious and Elizabeth and Hannah have sent their details to my email so that you don't miss out on your giveaways. Also, make sure you sign up on the attendance form to get your certificate. Make sure you sign up on the attendance form, include your correct name as you would like for it to appear in your certificate. The topic of the day is build your brand and sell online. So I can see responses coming in. There's WhatsApp, Facebook, social media is a wide range of visibility and content. Facebook, GMB, WhatsApp, emails are different. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, large customer network. All right, the email link, please. All right, so Lauren will post my email, Hannah, partnership lead at impactor.org. So Lauren will post my email. Make sure you send me your details, that is your phone number, your full name, and your network provider. Partnership lead at impactor.org. Oh, the moderators are posting a different email. Well, okay. Let me just post for you my email. Impactor.org. So that's it. Uh, okay. Sorry. Uzo, I've posted the email to send your details to partnership lead at impactor.org. All right. I hope you've seen it. I've just posted it in the chat section right now. Okay. So moving on, we look at the different features of the different features for different platforms. So there's Twitter, okay? Twitter is very good for, quick fire conversations, trending conversations. Like last week, we had issues with electricity here in Kenya. Our electricity was fluctuating. And when I went to Twitter online, last week we had, because it's the World Cup period, we don't want to not have electricity. We want to watch the matches. So we went online and we are having conversations on why we don't have lights, why we don't have electricity. And actually last week, on top trending conversations on Twitter in Kenya, number one was Kenya Power. So Kenya Power is the company supplying power to us. Okay, so they were trending online. So if you want quick fire conversations, you can decide on Twitter. So on Twitter, obviously, you need to have a professional looking profile. What is your header image? What is your username? Okay, you can include your logo as your profile picture. Remember, I talked about this. Logo as the profile picture, then cover image, obviously, an image that basically depicts what your business is about. Okay, on Twitter, if you have an important message, you have a Twitter platform, you have an important message, you can always uh, pin your tweet. You can pin your tweet. So even if maybe I opened my Twitter account last year and there's an important message I want everyone coming to my platform to see, I can pin it. Okay. So anytime you come, that is the first message that you see. And then you need to leverage on hashtags. Okay. So always use hashtags to get noticed and to join conversations. You can run polls on Twitter if you want to collect information from your audience. So also to increase your engagement rate, you can do a lot of retweeting and continue engaging with your audience. And then there's also Facebook. With Facebook, remember when I said when you're creating your social media page, you can link your main website with your Facebook. Okay, you can link your main website with your Facebook. You can sync your WhatsApp business with your Facebook as well. So when you're creating your Facebook page as a business, you don't create a personal, an individual profile. You need to create a page, a business page. Okay. So you need to create a business page and then include what is your business, what are your contact details, what are your opening hours, um, what is your call to action? What do you want people to do when they see your profile? Do you want them to call you on your post, the post that you make? You need to have call to actions on all of your posts. And then when I talked about people being visual, you can use videos, um, you can use GIFs, you can use static images, but make sure you're not too wordy with your posts. Not all people take time to read wordy posts. So straight to the point. Instagram is usually very visual, so you have to use very good images on Instagram, okay? And put a caption, tell a story, all right? Storytelling is the future of marketing. Tell a story, and then don't overdo on hashtags. Sometimes you go to a post and you see someone has like over 10 hashtags. It doesn't make sense, all right? So just choose the hashtags that make sense to you, make sense to your post. Don't overdo it. And then Instagram is very good if you want to follow influencers. So you can follow influencers in your industry. And then, if you follow influencers, the people who, assuming I'm in the medical industry, there's an influencer here in Kenya. It's called Dr. Amakovewala. Okay. She's very good with this. You want to learn anything about medical stuff, she's very good with that. So you find that most people who follow her are people who have the same interests. So as a business person, if I'm in the medical sector, if I follow that influencer, I'm also able to interact with people who have the same interest as what my business does. And that's also a potential place for me to get more clients. Okay. LinkedIn is usually very corporate. And if you want to be a thought leader in your industry, LinkedIn is the place to be. So you can decide to be the go to person to share maybe industry news. Okay. So you need to create a company page. With LinkedIn, you're even as a company. If I have my company page and I have my employees who've indicated, they work here, someone can able to reach out to them from my page alone. Okay. And then you're able to share product news. Remember, I said LinkedIn works very well with thought leadership content. So up to that point, do I have any questions? Up to that point, do I have any questions? Up to that point, do I have any questions? Up to that point, any questions? Okay, so my last question of the day, my last winner. So my last winner of the day. My last question to you is, when we started the session, we talked about building your brand on the online space, okay? And we looked at 4 main areas where you can get started with building your brand on the online space. So if you give me 3 out of 4 answers correct, I mentioned 4 main areas that you can get started with building your online uh, presence. So if you mention to me 3 out of 4 correct, you get the last voucher of the day. If you give me 3 out of 4 questions, 4 answers correct, you get my last voucher. So I'll give you a clue. The first clue I said is you can use an e-commerce platform. But I talked about 4 main areas you can get started with building your e-commerce place. So I talked about 4, and I've given you I've given you a clue. I've said e-commerce. What else? Only the person who gives me 3 out of 4 answers correct. So there's websites, social media, online directory. In fact, Jennifer, Jennifer is already the winner. Jennifer. So there's the website, yes. You can get started with your website, social media, online directory, and the e-commerce. So Jennifer, I have seen your answer was the first one and it was correct. Thank you so much for that. Make sure you send your details. Just sent my email right now. Make sure you send your details to partnership lead at impacther.org. Jennifer, congratulations. So remember to sign up for the Google Hustle Academy, the 1 week long bootcamp that we have in partnership with Google if you want to learn how to build your brand on the online space. I'm actually before Jennifer. No, but Jennifer gave the three correct answers. Uzo. But you already won the first one, Uzo. You want to get the second one again. Okay. So make sure you sign up for the Google Hustle Academy. If you want to self-learn, you feel like I need to, just sit down alone and study alone, you can go to learndigital.withgoogle.com. You also get a certificate from there. And then remember to follow Fidelity Bank on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also Impact Her. The links will be dropped in the chat section. I know I've gone over the session by 20 minutes. I'm so sorry about that, but I'm hoping it was worthwhile and you've learned a lot. So thank you so much. Jennifer, make sure you send me your details. So my winners for the day, congratulations, Uzo Precious, Elizabeth, um, Hannah. I was almost forgetting Hannah and Jennifer. And I hope you have shared your details and also that you all took time to fill in the attendance form. So thank you so much for that. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much to Fidelity Bank for this partnership. Esther, Fran, and Amarachi. I think I've been talking to them mostly. Thank you so much. We appreciate the partnership and we appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye.